After spending time documenting the ancient wooden churches in the valley, my girlfriend joined me for the next leg of the journey. We decided to head higher up. Our first objective was more of a hill than a mountain, a supposedly easy hike with a clear view of the peaks. But in the mountains, easy is a relative term. 5 minutes into the trek, there was a turn. First, the clouds roll in from the horizon. Then, the wind began to howl, bringing a wall of rain with it. Within another 5 minutes, the rain became a tropical deluge. We were completely soaked, but we pushed on towards the lookout point anyway. It was becoming a recurring theme for this trip, persistence despite the elements. At the summit, we weren't just met with rain. We saw hail, a full-blown storm, and cracks of lightning across the sky. But on the way back down, a rainbow appeared. It felt like the mountains were finally telling us we'd be fine. On the next day, since we were already wet, we figured we might as well visit a few nearby waterfalls. Despite the abundance of water everywhere, we actually managed to stay relatively dry this time. I scrambled down a slick, muddy slope to get a shot of a waterfall tucked away in a deep hollow. I managed to walk away with a few decent frames, almost as good as the reference shots I had seen on Google Maps. After that, we transitioned to some of the more cultured spots where the rest of the tourists gather. falls inspired us to tackle a nearby peak. Most people were taking the easy route, using machinery and 4x4s to reach the top. Looking at the ski resort we were starting from, it felt like I'd stepped right into a classic James Bond movie, only in the summer. Every engine that passed us was a loud reminder that there was a simpler way up, but not for us. Like in life, we decided not to take the shortcut. We watched children having fun in the back of trucks bouncing up the mud tracks while we placed every steps ourselves.
I don't think it's safe.
That's the thing about mountains. It's always hard work to reach a ridge, only to realize that summit was just a doorstep for the actual peak. I captured a few shots, but they are more like personal memories than serious work. Still, the weather held and even the biting wind at the top didn't feel cold after the climb. Before our next big climb, we took a detour through an open-air museum, a preserved Ukrainian village with traditional wooden houses and a rather strange monument of a mermaid. The next day we prepared for another summit. The ground was completely saturated from the previous night's downpour. As we passed through the village, sitting right at the base of the mountain, we were struck by how steep the streets were, or the lack of them entirely. Looking at the terrain, I could only imagine how difficult life is here in the autumn and winter. The struggle against the elements is very real for the people who call this home. At the end, we didn't make the summit that day. Between the exhaustion and the mud, we decided to stop at the village. A friendly grey dog followed us the whole way, and even he seemed to agree. It just wasn't the day for the top.